So I finally finished my first album first time, and it took 2 years, but I think it's really evolved into something that I'm super proud of. So I can't wait for you guys to hear it. It's been one of the best experiences of my life and something I'll remember forever. And I got to work with so many amazing people on it, like the amazing Trevor Carter, who produced it. And I got to write some songs with Mick Malusa and Mark Collis, which was an amazing experience. And yeah, I'm so excited about how it came out. We recorded about 25 songs and narrowed it down to the 13 that have made it. So if you want to hear it, make sure you go download it off iTunes or off the JB Hi-Fi online website. Tonight, I'm on top of the world with my favorite girls. I wrote this song about my Year 12 formal, and pretty much I noticed everyone taking photos that night, and people usually do take photos to keep memories alive. So I thought that I would write a song about what a great night I had. And when I wrote it, I sat down and thought I just want it to sound really happy and upbeat, so whoever's listening to it wants to jump up and down as well. And it was just a really great song to be able to write. I wrote it with Trevor Carter and Mick Malusa, and it just was so easy to write, and everything came together really well. I wrote this song about my parents, and I think it's quite a classic case that most people go through, where their parents tell them not to do something, but they probably did it when they were younger. And I also just really wanted to write a teen anthem. So with those two things in mind, I came up with Telling Me Not To. And something really awesome about the song as well is the video clip that we got to do, and it was just awesome because I got to, create the sets and costume everyone in it, and it was set in the 70s for half the time, so that was awesome because I'm such a big fan of the 70s. It was just another level to being able to show my fans who I am and the kind of stuff that I like, so yeah. This is a song about following your dreams no matter how hard it might seem. I wrote this song because wanting to be in the music industry, there would obviously be people who thought it was a pipe dream and thought I'd make nothing of it. So I wanted a song that said if you believe in what you're doing and you believe in your dreams, then you should just go for it. And for me, it was a really easy song to write lyrically because it was something I just really believed in, so the words just came out really consistently and fluently. First Time was my first attempt of ever writing a love song, and I was 16 when I wrote it. So when I sat down, I thought I really want it to sound like a fairy tale, especially within the lyrics, because I just always loved it when people associated fairy tales and love and the happy ending. So yeah, something else that was quite challenging about the song and writing it was I thought it's kind of hard writing about love because sometimes people criticize younger writers and say that they don't really know what love is and maybe they haven't experienced enough in their life to write about it. But I believe that first love is one of the most intense feelings someone can feel, and you'll never feel something like it again. So I'm really happy with how the song came out. You got kissing lips. I'll take you on a trip. As much as I adore pop music, I have a tremendous love for rock music as well. So when I wrote Kissing Lips, I thought I really wanted to just do a kind of edgy song. And it's influenced by bands such as the Rolling Stones, the Kinks, and the White Stripes. And I was just so happy when we had finished it because it was pretty much a song that I felt was missing from the album. And I came up with the lyrics because one day one of my friends said to me, "Oh, your lips, they look like kissing lips." And I randomly remembered that when I was trying to come up with lyrics, and that kind of started off the whole song. I'm really pleased with how the song came out, and I'm so happy that it made the album. The reason why I wrote this song was because I was 16 when I wrote it, and it was the first time I had ever really been away from home. I lived in Sydney my entire life, and when I signed to Empire, I practically lived in Melbourne. And it was just a really hard transition for me, and a big part of the song is I had a boyfriend at the time, and I had to pretty much choose between, my music or staying in Sydney, and I chose music. But when I listen to this song, it's a constant reminder to me of how much I do love songwriting, because when I wrote it, it was just a way for me to get all my feelings out and be able to really understand how I felt about the whole situation. And it just kind of made things a lot easier for me to deal with. So it's a song that I hold really close to my heart.
You gotta give it a chance. I know that you wanna dance. Why don't you...
What a Night is a song that I wrote, and I just wanted it to be a really happy, upbeat song that would hopefully make anyone listening to it have a good time. And it's just a song about going out and meeting new people and, hanging out with someone really special to you. And I just hope that it gives that impact to other people who listen to it.
Drinking cherry cola in the hot summer. The Stones are on the radio. Promise that you'll never go.
This song is probably my favorite song on the album. I wrote it, and I also got to do a lot of the programming too, which is pretty cool. It's pretty much a song about this awesome day I had with this guy I really liked, and when I wrote it, I thought I want people who listen to it to be able to see the whole day in their heads, which hopefully you do when you listen to it. It was also very Beach Boy influenced, because how can you listen to the Beach Boys and not feel happy? And yeah, I just really love the way it turned out, and I love being able to play such a big part in the production and sound of it as well. I wrote this song, Right Guy, and I think it's something that most girls go through. It's when you end up liking one of your really good friends. And I guess I wrote this song out of frustration for myself, because I couldn't believe I'd do something as stupid as that. And then I was stuck with all those questions like, should I tell him? And if I tell him, I'm going to lose my friend, and just that kind of stuff. So when I wrote it, I was really happy, because even though it was a pretty, annoying situation, I think I got a pretty cool song out of it. I wrote Punch Me in the Heart when I was 14 about my first crush, and he told me that he didn't like me, and I was so devastated that I thought it was enough to write a song about. So on the train home, I came up with the analogy, it feels like you punch me in the heart, and I thought it was perfect and described everything I was feeling. So when I got home, I just ran to my bedroom and I wrote this song in about 2 hours, but I was so happy with how it turned out, and it was my favorite song I had ever written at that point. So it was just like, awesome, okay. And I was kind of over the whole thing that had happened, because I came up with such a cool song. Something else that I loved about Punch Me in the Heart was the video clip, which was filmed by the awesome Brendan O'Shea. And pretty much it was just an awesome clip, because I got to go around and dress up as different people, and so many places were so awesome about letting us use their facilities for the video clip, like the bedroom scene, which is actually filmed in a bedding store. And I love doing the stuff in the pink room, obviously because I love pink, and I got to design the whole set for that as well. It was just such an awesome experience, and it was so much fun. When I wrote this song, I thought I wanted to make the lyrics really surreal and use a lot of metaphors. So I was really influenced by Tim Burton at the time, and I thought if I could paint this story in people's heads, it would just be great. So I practically wrote a whole movie plot where this girl lived in this surreal universe, and the sun and the moon and the stars were all kind of like gods that could dictate what she could and couldn't do. And all she wanted to do was be with this guy, and they didn't want her to. But she fought all the odds, and she fought destiny and fate to be with him. And that's pretty much what the song's about. It's probably one of my favorite songs as well, because it's got a real aura about it. This is a song I wrote about a big fallout I had with one of my best friends, and it was just a really unusual thing for me to go through. And it was just hard because I was going through some other stuff, and when you're going through that kind of stuff, I guess all you want to do is talk to your best friend, but I felt like she just didn't want to know me. So I guess I wrote this song, and it was just about how I dealt with all that stuff without her. I wrote this song when I was 16 about my boyfriend at the time, and I guess I just stopped liking him and I started questioning the relationship. You know, what's this all for? Why are we together if we don't really love each other? So I wrote this song, and it was kind of an explanation to myself about how to deal with the situation, and it gave me time to really think it through. I cried the entire time I wrote the song because I knew that I was going to lose a really close friend. And it was weird because when I came up with the opening line, which is, I tried to read you like a book, but it's like you wrote in every language but mine. It was like I came up with a sentence that described everything I was feeling about the relationship. So it's a song that I hold so close to me, and I am so pleased that it made the album, and I think it's an amazing final track.